Hi everyone and welcome to Anura Tarot again. Today's reading is going to be about the next steps that you're going to take in your career, and we're going to ask Spirit and the Fairies for advice on how to advance your career and be more abundant. These are today's cards that you can choose from. We have the toad, the spider and the rabbit, and I'm going to leave them here for a while so you can meditate on which pile you want to pick. If you want to pick more than one pile, or if you feel attracted to more than one of these animals, you can watch as many as the readings as you like. Hi, pile number 1. This is going to be the shuffling part of your reading. If you want to go straight to your reading, please go to the next part of this video. I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards for you. I like to leave the ones that show upside down so we don't ruin the surprise. Okay, and now I'm going to pick 3 explanatory cards for these 3 that we already picked. Okay, we have that they don't want to show up. Okay, this seems to be for this one, and last one. That's great. Now I'm going to pick 2 of the Fairies Oracle deck. This is a Colombian Oracle deck, so it's in Spanish. It has some of the fairies. Each fairy has a different name or a different topic, and they are going to give us advice on what you should do next in your career. And lastly, we already have the toad here, but I'm going to put it back in the deck because if it has a message for you, it will appear again. And this is the Literary Witches Oracle. It's an oracle with women writers and some of the objects that are included in their novels or their poems. Okay, let's try again. I really like to choose 2 of these cards so they can give us advice or some guidance on what's going to happen in your career next. Okay, so your reading is in the next part of this video, and I will see you then. Hi, pile number 1. If you chose the toad, this is your reading. We're gonna start with tarot. We have the Star, the 4 of Wands in reverse, and the Fool. And as explanations for these, we have the King of Cups, the 10 of Cups in reverse, and we have 2 here for the Star. Okay, so what I'm seeing now is I think you're taking a big step in your career, but you're getting out of your comfort zone. What the Fool shows us is that you are taking a new path that you are not comfortable or not familiar in. We have this dog here. This dog represents fear, and the dog is biting the Fool's leg and telling them not to go forward with something, not to go forward with an adventure, but they're still doing it. So it seems like you're taking an adventure and you're taking a career path that is not as familiar for you. You might be a little afraid about this path. We have the Moon here, and the Moon is also talking about your fears. And I feel like this path is not a path that you're as comfortable in, and that this path is maybe shaking your ground a little bit because you're not sure about what's going to happen. We have the 4 of Wands here, and the 4 of Wands represents the 4 walls of a room, and this seems like something that is a little bit risky and a little bit new for you, and you might be worried that it's not going to work, but you're still hopeful about this. You're still hopeful that this will work because the Star is a card that shows hope, and that shows like when sailors are in the sea and they see a star far away and they know they're going in the right direction. We also have the Sun in reverse and the 10 of Cups in reverse, and this shows me that you're still not where you want to be, but you will be very soon if you keep on this path, and if you keep being brave, and if you keep looking forward to this wish that you have. And these cards in the reverse do not mean that you're not going to be happy or abundant. The Sun card is about happiness, and the Ten of Cups is about abundance. And that they're in the reverse, that does not mean that you're not going to be abundant or happy, but you're not yet there. But you will be if you keep on looking at this horizon that you have. And mostly, the King of Cups is a card that shows that we are in control of our emotions. So this means that this path is going to be a little scary for you, but you are going to be in control of that fear. And do not let that fear control you. You will be the one in control here. Now, let's see what the fairies have to say for us. We have the Fairy of Wishes, de los Deseos. This is in Spanish, but I'm going to translate. It says that you should ask for what you need or want with a lot of strength, and this will make things happen. So this card is showing that you have a wish, and you're a little bit scared that this wish is not going to come into fruition, but it will if you keep it in mind, and if you keep working for it, it will come true for you. So I think you're a little bit afraid of that, what you're wishing for is not going to become true. But the Fairy of Wishes is saying you need to ask Spirit and the universe for this wish, but you still have to work for it. So I think you are thinking about doing something different that is a little bit scary, but the fairies and Spirit are saying this is going to come true if you work for it. And you have the Green Fairy. And this fairy is showing that you can benefit from nature and you can benefit from being outside. I don't know if this new career path has something to do with the color green, with nature, with organic things, with things that are healthier, or if it's a sports team that has the color green in their uniform, or traveling abroad to somewhere with a lot of nature, or somewhere which has green in their flag. But the fairies are saying this might be confirmation if you resonate with this, but the fairies are saying your wish is going to come true if you work really hard for it, or maybe not really hard, but if you keep working towards it and wishing for it and being optimistic about it despite feeling fear. And in the Literary Witches Oracle, we have the Wall and we have perspective. So what this seems to me is that you had been inside a comfortable space, you had been inside a very protected space, and now you're going outside of that space and you're getting a new perspective on how life works. And this is what Spirit is encouraging to. If you're trying not to do something new because you're afraid and stay within these walls, you're not going to gain this perspective that is going to make you grow in your career. I'm going to ask the fairies for another card for advice, and let's see what they have to say to you right now about your career and about this new adventure that you have. You have the Fairy of Forgiveness. Maybe you had a bad experience with your past work, or with some coworkers or your boss, or maybe this new path is making you forgive someone. Forgiving someone does not mean that you're going to have the same relationship with them, or that you're going to ignore that they trespassed your boundaries or that they made you feel wrong, but it means that you're going to release anger and vengefulness. You're going to release this, and this is going to make you want to go outside of these walls and of this comfortable space. I don't know if this is related to work. Maybe this is a family member or someone who told you that you wouldn't be able to follow this path, but releasing that anger and releasing that vengefulness will give you the energy and the strength that you need to go towards this. So I think if you're thinking about having a different career path, or if you're thinking about doing something new and something that you're not comfortable with, the fairies and Spirit are saying go for it. If you wish for it and you work for it, it will become true, and you will find this happiness and this abundance that you are wishing for. So thank you, Pile 1, for being here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. This really helps my channel grow, and I hope to see you in a video again soon. Adios. Hi, pile number 2. If you chose the spider, this is going to be the shuffling part of your reading. If you want to go straight to the reading, please go to the next section of this video. I'm going to start by shuffling your tarot cards. I'm going to choose 3 tarot cards, and we're going to ask your guides and spirit what they can advise for you to take your next steps in regarding your career. So we have these 2. Let's have another one. And I'm gonna take 3 more that are gonna be explanatory for these 3. So, okay. Please ignore the teapot in the background. Okay. And last one. That's great. Okay. So now that we have your tarot cards, I'm just gonna pick them up. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to pick 2 of the Fairies Oracle deck. This is a Colombian Oracle deck, so it's in Spanish, but I'm gonna be translating so you know exactly what they say. So let's ask your fairies for some advice regarding your career. Oh, we have 4, so it seems like the fairies have a lot to say to you. And now that we have this, we're gonna take 2 of the Literary Witches Oracle. This oracle shows women who are writers and some of the objects or animals that are present in their books, in their novels, or in their poems. So I will see you in your reading, pile 2. Hi, pile 2. If you chose the spider, this is the reading for you. And we're gonna ask Spirit and the Fairies what advice do they have for your career. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse, we have the 5 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. So it seems to me, pile 2, that you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable in your current work situation. It seems like you might have maybe you lost your job recently, or maybe you're not comfortable in your job right now. It seems that you're very tired, and that you're feeling a sense of loss in your job situation. Maybe you're not where you want to be. Maybe you feel like you're not being successful enough in your work life. Maybe you feel like you're not abundant as you would like to be, with the 10 of Pentacles here. We have the 4 of Swords in the reverse, and the 4 of Swords is a card that shows being tired. I know this is a little graphic, and I'm sorry if you are uncomfortable with this card, but this card talks about resting. When it's in the reverse, it shows that you're having the opportunity to rest. And maybe if you lost your job recently and you're unemployed right now, your spirit and your fairies are advising you to rest and take this period to rest. And maybe if you're thinking about quitting your job, or thinking about looking for something where you are a little bit less tired, the spirit is encouraging to do so. So if you feel like you're burned out, if you feel like you're not abundant enough in your job, spirit is saying that you have to put attention into rest and in taking care of your body as well. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Cups, which are very lucky cards. The Wheel of Fortune is saying you can either accept that life has ups and downs, or you can try to stop the wheel and it will crash you over. If you're having a low in your life, you need to know that a high will come next. That's the cycle of life, and that's what's going to happen. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling you're not as abundant enough, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling sick, spirit is encouraging you to let go of the situations that are making you feel this way. And you have the 7 of Cups. This reminds me of Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. In a scene in this book, our protagonist is thinking about the figs in a tree, and she's having so much trouble picking one of the figs that the figs are rotting at her feet. And this is saying you have so many figs to choose from. There's not only one apple in this tree, there's a lot of apples in this tree. So if one of the apples is rotten, you don't have to eat it, you can pick another one. You're having I think you're not as comfortable as you would like to be in your current job situation. The Queen of Wands in the reverse shows this too. The Queen of Wands is a very strong queen. She can do mostly whatever she wants. And since she's in the reverse, I think you feel you're not as independent as you would like to be in your job situation. And this is making you feel sad and abandoned and tired. So I think if you're thinking about quitting your job, Spirit is encouraging to do so. They're saying you're gonna be so lucky and you have so many places to choose from. And let's see what the fairies have to say for you. We had a lot of fairies in this reading. I mostly always choose only 2, but 4 of them wanted to show up. So we have the Spirit Guide Fairy. We have the Fairy of Goodbye. We have the Fairy of Authenticity. And we have the Fairy of I'm having trouble translating this word. This word is about creating your own business, like being a business owner. It's like being an entrepreneur. I don't know the exact word for it in English, but this word is saying maybe you have an idea for a new business or a new job that you want, but you're a little bit afraid of quitting your safe job to pursue this. But you have Fairy of entrepreneurship here, the Fairy of business owning. So if you're thinking about quitting your job to have your own business or to go forward with your own idea, this fairy is encouraging to do so. You also have the Fairy of Goodbye. So I think this might be confirmation that you're trying to quit your job or that you're trying to change your work situation. And she's saying that you have to leave every harmful situation because new things are coming for you. You have the Fairy of Authenticity, which is saying that you always have to show who you are and to be authentic, and that this way you're going to attract people and situations that align with who you are. And you have the Fairy of the Spirit Guide, which is saying that maybe one of the projects in your life is to help people with their spirituality or to reach spirituality. So if you are thinking about having a new business, if you have a new business idea, if you're not comfortable in your work situation right now, the fairies are saying you are protected and blessed to have your own business, and they're going to come with you. And we have the apple. This is the Literary Witches Oracle, which shows us women who are writers and some of the objects in their books. And you have Mary Shelley here with loss. I think this has a lot to do with the Fairy of Goodbye. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of grief about your work. Maybe you're disappointed. You thought it would be better. You thought you would feel happier in this job and you didn't. And now you're grieving that you're trying to move away from it. And you also have the apple, which reminds me of the Seven of Cups. So I think what Spirit is saying here is this job that you have right now is only one of the apples in this tree, and you can choose any other apple that you want. Spirit is saying this is not the only situation in which you're going to be abandoned, and if you're going to be successful, you can choose whichever apple you like. And if this apple is about having your own business and putting your own idea into fruition, then you're encouraged by Spirit to do so. So pile number 2, this was your reading. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, since it really helps my channel if you do so. I will see you again in another reading. Adios. Pile number 3, if you chose the Rapid card, this is going to be a reading, and we're gonna be asking Spirit and the fairies for advice in what the next steps in your career should be or will be. I'm going to take 3 tarot cards that are going to answer to this question. Cups. Okay. And now I'm going to ask Spirit for 3 more that are going to clarify these past cards. Okay. Now I'm going to ask the fairies for advice. This is the Fairies Oracle deck. This is a Colombian deck and it's in Spanish. Each of the cards has a different fairy with a different topic. And I'm going to be translating. We have two here. And now I'm going to take two cards from the Literary Witches Oracle, which has women writers and some of the objects and animals that are in their novels or in their poems. So we have the cauldron and the book. So this was the shuffling part of the reading. If you want to go straight to the reading, please hold on tight. Pile number 3, if you chose the rabbit, this is your reading and advice. I'm going to ask Spirit what the next steps in your career will be or should be. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse. We have the 6 of Cups in reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 9 of Wands. We have the 4 of Wands, and we have the 5 of Wands. So it seems to me that you're in a comfortable place right now. Maybe you have a job that is safe and that is rewarding for you, and you're thinking about if to hold on to this situation or to stir the pot a little bit and find something new. The 4 of Wands here shows me that the place where you're at is very safe. The 4 of Wands represent the 4 walls in a house, so you're maybe inside a house. Not literally, but metaphorically, you're somewhere safe. And you're thinking about if you should maybe find something different or if you should stay there. You feel like this is very safe and you're not very comfortable in being in such a safe place. The 9 of Wands shows me here that you've been holding on to this situation because you don't know if you should let go or if you should keep pursuing this situation. Here in this card you can see this man is having to decide on whether keep holding on or to get this glass of water or if to let go. I think the place where you're at is very comfortable. I don't see a lot of conflict in this place. You have the 5 of Wands in reverse here, and the 5 of Wands represents conflict. And since it's in the reverse, I think this place is safe for you. This place is not risky. This place is the most comfortable place you could be in right now. And I see you haven't had an opportunity, a specific opportunity to leave this place. So you're just sitting there maybe waiting for something to happen, but this place seems to be very safe for you. The 5 of Cups in reverse shows me here that maybe you had difficult emotions about this place. Maybe you were sad, maybe you were disappointed, but you're not feeling that way anymore. Pile number 2 had a similar reading to you, but I think the difference between you and pile number 2 is that pile number 2 feels very, very burdened by this job, and you maybe feel very comfortable. So if you feel very burdened by this safe situation, maybe this is your reading. But if you feel burdened, maybe you should go take a look at pile number 2 as well. That's the difference between these two piles. You feel comfortable and they feel very uncomfortable and very sad about their work situation. The 6 of Cups here shows me that you're letting go of a past situation that was hard for you. The six of Cups shows me nostalgia and thinking a lot about the past. But since it's in the reverse, it shows me that maybe something hard happened in your job or in your work situation, but you're letting go of those feelings. So if you feel very comfortable in your place, that may be confirmation that this reading is for you. If you feel very uncomfortable and very sad and burdened and tired, maybe you can go take a look at pile number 2. We're going now to ask the fairies for advice on what to do. We have the fairy of receiving. It says that your wishes are about to materialize and that you should be thankful for what you have and what will come. And we also have the fairy of serenity. It says that you should let things pass and that everything will be okay. So I think pile number 3, if you're comfortable in your work situation, Maybe Spirit is encouraging you to wait for a little bit because things will improve, and if you're waiting for an opportunity to do something different, that opportunity will show. Maybe this is not the time for you to steer the pot. Maybe you're somewhere comfortable and somewhere where you are safe, and that is giving you the abundance that you need, and that is helping you grow. And maybe you're bored or you're tired of the situation, but Spirit is saying just hold on for a little bit longer and things will come into fruition. We have the book here in the Literary Witches Oracle. This oracle shows this Literary Witches Oracle is about women who are writers, and these are some objects that are within their books or their poems. We have the cauldron here. So what I think when I see this is something's cooking. If you put a lot of ingredients into a cauldron and then you just turn it off, you will not have a good soup. I think you're cooking a good soup where you're at. You're growing, you're learning, and it's somewhere safe to cook bigger things. And I think this card is telling me you're doing things by the book. So you're doing things that I think you know you're supposed to be doing, but maybe you're bored because you feel this is taking too long to cook. Maybe it's cooking very slowly and you are a little bit bored because this is very safe and you don't feel like you're growing. But I think Spirit is encouraging you to just take a seat and keep learning and just be patient on new opportunities that might show in the future. I'm gonna ask the fairies for a little bit more of advice, just one more fairy. And we have the fairy of forgiveness as well. I think we have this fairy in pile number 1. Can't remember if it was pile number 1 or pile number 2, but this fairy is telling you that you should release anger and vengefulness that you feel towards someone. Maybe this is not work related, but maybe the energy that is taking to, I don't know, if you're maybe stalking this person, you're looking at their social media, you're maybe trying to make them feel guilty or pay for something that they did to you or a boundary they crossed. I think what Spirit is saying here is just focus that energy on yourself and just release that anger because it's maybe blocking some blessings in your way. So pile number 3, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, that really helps my channel grow. I hope to see you in a new reading again. Adios.